Hey fellow founders, how you going? Welcome to another weekly recap of all things Founder University. So we have concluded week 10 of Founder University. So 2 weeks officially remaining, and then unofficially, of course, we do have the ability to continue in the program in an unofficial capacity, I guess. And what I mean by that is we still have access to the member portal. We can still talk with our fellow cohort. We can still turn up to other video sessions and video calls that Founder University put on later on down the track. Over the last couple of weeks, we have had some people from cohort 1 and 2 pop in at times. So yeah, 2 weeks officially, but unofficially, you can still remain involved, which is fantastic. Now, this week there wasn't a live session. It did get postponed, but I was able to attend the midweek check-in, which I always really appreciate the opportunity to do. It's nice kind of hearing what everyone else is up to, and I've tried to stoke some conversation in the community by posting and encouraging people to share what they're working on. It does seem to be a little bit quieter in the forum at the moment, but hey, maybe people are heads down and focused on their startup, which they should be. In the midweek checkup, I did pitch Oqire. I'd also previously sent Charlie from Launch my 2-minute pitch and got some great feedback from him. So Charlie, if you're watching, really do appreciate it. But again, wanted to pitch, even though Charlie was the main one giving feedback in the live session, just to get those reps up, practice, basically doing it live. My view went off without a hitch. I didn't kind of miss anything that I wanted to say. I was pretty much smack bang on 2 minutes as far as I'm aware. It was a good opportunity to extend, the conversation with Charlie on some of the feedback that he'd left on the 2-minute pitch that I'd shared via Loom. Again, all things, really positive there. Always areas for improvement, and definitely a few things that I want to tweak. But by and large, I think that the message that I want to get across is pretty clear. I was really pleased with that. In terms of other activities this week, so as part of the kind of core program, focus on continuing to get feedback from users. And in fact, I had a really good conversation with a previous colleague of mine who works for another software company now in a pre-sales capacity, and he was sharing their journey in terms of how they solved the problem that I'm trying to solve with Oqire. And by and large, he was saying it's very hard for them to manage it because they've got this Lucid chart which links off to all these different pages and templates, and some people use it, some people don't, just because it's so hard for them to navigate. So he was really excited about what I'm working on. Another colleague that I spoke to also was excited about it. One of the things we don't have in Oqire at the moment is the ability to customize the discovery questions. I knew that from the day that we did the MVP that was an area that we'd need to improve straight away, and that's some of the functionality that I've actually been working on this week, in addition to introducing payments. So pretty easy for the payment side of things for now. We're going to be leveraging Stripe, and they provide a bunch of out-of-the-box capability that we can just leverage to turn that on, starting at $25 per user per month. So nice and easy. And then, that functionality of allowing people to customize their questions is front and center of my mind. So really good couple of conversations there, in addition to the others that I've been having. Those two kind of stand out. Some of the other content this week was talking about like budgeting and expenses when it comes to startups. I don't want to kind of toot my own horn, but one of the things that I do really pride myself on is being able to do a hell of a lot with very little. I've always done that with my startups. So just kind of making $1 go a really long way. And, whether that's learning some skills myself if it's too expensive to outsource, or recognizing that the time and learning curve for me to do something myself is too great for the money that it would, compared to what it would cost us to get it done. So a really good example of that would probably be my logo that I did a while back. $50. I get in my opinion, like a logo that's probably like a 7 out of 10. That's good enough for today. If I want to go and spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 later on when I've got funding or whatnot, or a lot of paying customers, we can do that then. And then, just from a general budgeting expenses point of view, I've always done my own profit and loss statements, cash flow statements, all my own tax. So, I'm kind of familiar with that. Always good to get a recap and also hear kind of like from an investor lens some of the numbers that are obviously important. So, Yeah, that was good. And then, yeah, obviously the rest of the focus of this week's content from a launch founder university perspective is just keep working on that pitch, which I've been doing. So, yeah, all in all, really pretty productive week, I think. It's been, great to just continue to be involved with the community, really, and be held, not accountable, that's the wrong word because I do hold myself accountable, but kind of to work to a pace where, there is a bit of structure, there's these kind of milestones. And in all honesty, I probably wouldn't have focused as strongly on my pitch had I not done Founder University, because I would have been focused more on like marketing and building the application. I'm not saying those things have dropped by the wayside, but by focusing a little bit more energy and effort than I otherwise would have on the pitch, it helps those things because you get a lot clearer in terms of the messaging that you like, the messaging you want to put forward, the vision that you have, like making sure you really kind of nail that and detail that in a way that's easy to understand. And then because you've done that, you then can then have the lens of like, hey, if I'm going to create this marketing content or write this blog post, does that really align with the the user group that we're going after? Does that really align with our kind of target customer today? It might align in general, but if it aligns with the customer who's like too big for you to kind of provide a solution for today, then hey, maybe that content or that marketing campaign is not really relevant today. Kind of park it. Same thing with like the functionality in the app, right? If you're really detailed on what you want to do, hey, do we add this feature or that feature? And I've got a bunch of features that I want to add, and I can see now like there's a very clear path of, as we grow, or as I grow Oqire, and as we get more customers on board and we add value, like what's the next iteration in terms of adding value? So does that mean that our the solution can be used by other people within a broader sales team? So at the moment it's targeted to sales reps and pre-sales consultants or sales engineers, but in time there's also value for customer success managers or professional services managers who go in and maybe implement the solution. So yeah, by kind of detailing that and focusing a little bit more on the pitch, I think that's helped kind of articulate where my effort should be focused, which is obviously important because I'm doing this solo at the moment. So yeah, look, all in all, we'll wrap it there. I'll wrap it there. Just wanted to provide the regular update on all things Founder University, and hopefully get the chance to look back on these videos at some point in the future and see how far Oqire's come from today. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one, and yeah, really appreciate it.